This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening, everyone. The state opposition today took over part of Hobart's Parliament lawns with a stunt, aiming to force the Health Minister to step down. The calls come amid escalating tensions within the health system, but the government says Labor's achieving nothing but politicising a serious issue.
Stakes in the ground, 3,000 pictures of our Health Minister gracing the grass outside Parliament House, representing a petition Labor says went statewide.
He is a minister who will not listen. He has no regard for the health of Tasmanians. He has failed time and time again.
Renewing calls for the minister to step down amid ongoing tensions within our health system.
We hope that today is a clear statement to the Premier that he needs to act and replace Michael Ferguson as the Health Minister with somebody in the portfolio that has the confidence of the community.
It's really disappointing that Labor continue to politicise such an important issue, and we are here supporting Michael Ferguson. It is a challenging portfolio, but he is delivering.
The Greens offering a possible solution. It will this week be pushing for an inquiry into restoring the numbers in the House of Assembly. It says that restoration would allow ministers to only have to balance one portfolio at a time, which could address some of our state's major woes.
And he's being asked to oversee police, fire and emergency management as well. Of course that's going to impact on his administration of the health portfolio.
The government says restoration of parliamentary numbers isn't a priority right now. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Floral tributes have been laid at the scene where a 42-year-old man died while swimming yesterday afternoon. The man was in shallow waters at Roaches Beach in Lauderdale when he suffered a puncture wound to his lower abdomen. Early indications suggest the wound was caused by a stingray, but that is yet to be confirmed by Tasmania Police. At the family's request, the man's name hasn't yet been released. 10 Tasmania Fire Service crews were needed to extinguish a blaze at Timberlink near Georgetown. The cause of the fire is being blamed on embers from a nearby vegetation burn coming into contact with a pile of sawmill residue at the site. Heavy machinery was used to help extinguish the blaze. As retailers gear up for the festive season, the state government says it's cracking down on shoplifting. Legislation will be debated in Parliament this week to allow shop owners as well as security guards to inspect customers' bags.
Yes, I think this will make a difference, and this sends a clear message to the community that crime is not okay. We want to support our retailers as we're going into the busy Christmas period, and we want to ensure that the burden and the costs of shoplifting is not passed on to Tasmanians.
There needs to be a reasonableness test applied here, because you don't want to see the rights of ordinary customers infringed upon. It could become a bit heavy-handed, so we need to make sure that the legislation dealt with that properly before we supported it.
It's estimated retail theft costs Tasmanian businesses $200 million a year. Thousands have braved the cold conditions on Mount Wellington today, putting themselves to the ultimate test in what's considered the world's toughest half marathon. The Point to Pinnacle attracting some serious racegoers and those proving that they can climb a physical and mental mountain.
Roaring through the fog and across the finish line, Ben St Lawrence reaching the summit in record time, smashing the previous top time by more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, every kilometre that ticked by I thought, all right, I haven't blown up yet, so I just started pushing and then gave it everything over the last couple of Ks. So.
Last year's female winner Miriam Dowie again taking out the top gong, drawing on her own motivation.
Literally when I was running up the last few Ks, I was just praying in my heart, like, please help me get through, and it actually really helps me.
After the burn, body temperatures high, keeping the athletes warm in the nippy 3 degrees.
Luckily today it's absolutely perfect for running and everyone's liking that. So
almost 4,000 took part today, some in it for their own physical or mental challenge.
I had a knee injury ever since Melbourne Marathon, and it just means that I can't run downhill, so uphill on the treadmill. So that's just what I've been doing the last month, and this race is perfect for me.
Others to raise money and awareness of issues close to their heart, such as this banana, showing just how far the Mobart Mobros will go for men's health.
A lot of people are doing it for various reasons, but you know, even if it's for a minute where I go past, it's, you know, change your opinion and gives you a bit of laugh, and it just gives you a bit of boost.
The 140-strong group motivating people through the final push.
It's a bit of a challenge today, but it's nothing what some men are facing with with the illnesses in their lives and the families around them as well.
Over the last 6 years, over $1 million has been raised for charity.
We've got 1,400 people that are involved with teams this year, so you know, it just seems to grow and grow each year.
A hard-earned drink for those who've put themselves through their paces and conquered what's considered the world's toughest half marathon. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Tasmanians have set a rosy record at Woolmer's Estate. This year's Festival of Roses is being hailed the biggest ever, with thousands pouring through the gates to see and smell the flowers in full bloom. Organisers say the timing of this year's colourful event was spot on.
We always panic with the roses, which weekend to hold it. This weekend's turned out the best weekend. Obviously, the roses can change when they are out, depending on the weather, and this year's worked fantastic for us.
There were also 80 stalls, keeping floral fans well fed. All money raised from the day goes towards the upkeep of the historic Woolmer's Estate, which was built in 1817. A Bhutanese refugee has shared the struggles he faced when fleeing to Tasmania in a new art exhibition at Lenna Valley. Isaac Ray spent months capturing the state's iconic landscape while illustrating his harrowing journey to settle in Hobart.
A story of exile told through art. Isaac Ray was just 3 years old when his Nepalese family fled Bhutan. He then spent his childhood and teenage years in a refugee camp in Nepal. Making the journey to Tasmania at the age of 21, Isaac has now shared his struggle to seek refuge on canvas.
I want to share my story through painting, and this is a great opportunity. It's good to tell the story because people have to know why we're here, and yeah, they should know our story.
His 7 oil paintings now on display at Citywide Baptist Church in Lenna Valley.
Yeah, they are very welcome and they are very lovely people here. Yeah, they gave me this platform to exhibit my painting here, and it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, we really hope that the members of our church, both here and on the Eastern Shore, can get an insight into what life has been for those who have come to Hobart, and to be ready to welcome more people.
The community opening its doors to those who have fled from other countries.
I particularly am moved by the picture of Isaac with the Australian flag, where he said, "No other country wanted me, but now I'm proudly Australian."
Ruby Kamain, Southern Cross News.
One of the world's most iconic films is coming to the stage in a Tasmanian Ballet adaptation of The Wizard of Oz. The local production will see Dorothy and her friends joined by over 150 dancers as they perform the famous story.
It's a story for everyone, and it fits in with the ballet genre. We've also got a lot of other crossovers into things like acrobatics and things like that, which, you know, flying monkeys, so it's really quite entertaining.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been a really, really good experience. I've learnt lots of things along the way, and it's really challenged me. I am feeling the pressure a lot, yes, but I'm very, very excited.
The cast will twirl down the yellow brick road at Mount Nelson Theatre next weekend.
After yesterday's doom and gloom, Tasmania has produced a stunning turnaround in its Sheffield Shield clash against Victoria. After bowling out the visitors for 282, the Tigers are now just 5 runs behind, thanks to a rock-solid opening partnership. After posting one of their lowest innings totals of all time, the Tigers had plenty of work to do. Defending their abysmal 81, Riley Meredith stood tall, taking his first of 4 wickets for the innings. The dismissal of Seb Gotch on 41 will be telling. It unsettled the dangerous partnership with James Pattinson, who was caught on 30 a few overs later. Chris Tremaine would soon follow, Bo Webster's second scalp for the day. Although unlikely hero Peter Siddle smashed 42 off 46 balls, he would become unstuck by a Meredith delivery which was skied to Gurinder Sandhu. Victoria's total of 282 was no easy task to rein in, but with time on their side, Jordan Silk and Alex Doolan forged a strong alliance. The pair passing the half-century mark, but not before Doolan smacked John Holland for 6. He would rise all the way to the nervous 90s, but his day would end after nicking Peter Siddle to the slips on 94. Bo Webster picked things up where they left off, putting the Tigers in a competitive position heading into day 3. After surviving today's criterium in Devonport, Dylan Sunderland now lays claim to his first Tour of Tasmania title, while 3 local riders have also tasted success as part of the Tour's winning team.
The weather was hot and so was the pressure from the homegrown riders.
Here we go. This looks like a move here from Tom Robinson.
The Launceston athlete was taking it up to the front runners, forcing National Road Series leader Raphael Feinstein to keep up. But the classy field closed the gap as the laps wound down in the 54-kilometre criterium. In a race devoid of any major collisions, the peloton was intact at the final lap. Feinstein picked up the pace in the final few hundred metres, but it would be Stand Shaker Classic winner Cam Ivory who crossed the line first. His time not enough to draw in Dylan Sunderland, who claimed the Tour's overall win, riding for Richie Port's old team, Bennelong Swiss Wellness. And there were strong signs from Tasmanian rider Oliver Martin, who finished 5th overall and 2nd in the hill climbs, while also being a part of the winning team Rabble Continental, alongside fellow Tasmanians Jonathan Butler and Tom Robinson. There were casualties earlier in the day in the women's race. 7 athletes spilled onto the asphalt at the halfway point of proceedings. Yellow jersey holder Justine Barrow wasn't among them. Protected in the peloton, the Victorian finished with her 1-minute lead intact to take out the inaugural women's tour, while stage favourite Georgia Whitehouse claimed line honours.
To work so well together, it's such a great feeling, and then to come across with the win, so yeah, just so happy.
Catherine Woolston was the top Tasmanian, finishing 12th overall.
And as you may have seen earlier in the bulletin, Sydney's Ben St Lawrence broke the record time in this morning's Point to Pinnacle, which has stood since 2013. He conquered the 21-kilometre half marathon in 1 hour, 21 minutes and 50 seconds, smashing the previous best by 2 minutes and 19 seconds. The fastest Tasmanian male was third-place Dejan Gebrselassie. Hobart's Miriam Dowie was the fastest female, clocking a time of 1 hour, 38 minutes and 53 seconds.
Good evening. Maximum temperatures were up to 8 degrees above average today, with Scott's Peak reaching the high of 26. Hobart 18 along with Burnie and Devonport, while Launceston recorded 23 degrees. Ouse 22, 21 at Flinders Island, Strawn, Smithton and King Island 20, 19 at Grove, Lyawini 18, 17 for St Helens and Friendly Beaches and Lowhead, Maria Island 16. There was cloud mainly about the east coast today, with patchy cloud in the north. Extensive cloud over the Tasman Sea is streaming onto Tasmania's east coast and extending a ridge over eastern states. Tropical convection is visible over the northern half of the Northern Territory, with middle to high level cloud in the south. Tomorrow a series of cold fronts are crossing southern waters, while a ridge extends over the Tasman Sea and the east coast of the mainland. And a trough lies over the Northern Territory. Let's take a look at the coastal waters now. Northeasterly winds 15 to 25 knots, reaching 30 knots about the northwest. Seas 1.5 to 2.5 metres. A strong wind warning is current for western coastal waters from Low Rocky Point to Stanley, and also for the lower eastern and southeastern coastal waters from Wineglass Bay to Southeast Cape, including most inshore waters. A sunny day ahead in the south of the state tomorrow. Hobart 26, Dover 24, and a hot 28 for Ouse. Looking north, it will be partly cloudy, 23 in Launceston, Devonport and Scottsdale both 20. Burnie 19 tomorrow, partly cloudy, mostly sunny at Strawn 27, Stanley 19. Partly cloudy conditions for the east of the state, 19 at St Helens, 21 for Swansea, Ross 24. The UV is 9 across the state tomorrow. Tuesday, light rain increasing during the afternoon and the evening. Wednesday, rain easing into showers during the morning. And Thursday, showers across the state. A shower or two developing for Adelaide tomorrow, mostly sunny for Canberra, Melbourne, Alice Springs, Cairns and Broome, while Perth, Sydney and Brisbane are expecting a partly cloudy day. And currently it is sunny across the state, with 17 in Hobart, 20 for Launceston and 17 for Devonport. And Rachel, it looks like a warm day tomorrow across most of the state.
It sounds lovely. Thank you for that, Carmen. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week. Good night.